road is an effective way of distancing, because it's kind of like by journeying along this kind of railroad in the album, he's able to take pictures of these different spots and of these different scenes, and therefore, by making it other, by making it external, separates himself further from that.
It would sound a lot like the North American images, where you have the train, the expansion, something very positive, but not necessarily sympathetic to or in line with the aspirations of Native Americans, quite the opposite.
And this is the last image in the book. This is a scene, or an image of ruins on the island of the moon in Lake Titicaca, and I think that there's a figure kneeling in the middle and kind of in front of the temple. So I chose this image because Bingham later has some of the same images of the same place. And this one is interesting because it's the closest, I guess the closest shot of this place, and there are other examples that are taken from farther away. So it kind of, I don't know, at the very end it kind of does allow an identification with this place and with these ruins and the figure of this kneeling woman and kind of in how close we are to her, which is just kind of interesting. It's like, even though the pueblo, the village where the actual Indians are living now is kind of seen from far away, it's like these ruins and this architecture is very positive. It can be deployed in order to kind of create a sense of, in order to kind of bring this kind of antiquity back into the center, into Arequipa, which is the kind of the second big modern city in Peru after Lima, to kind of bring that back and use it to create a sense of identity, of national identity. So next image, please. Okay, and then these are just some of the 1915 Bingham photographs from far away. And here we see them more, they're a part of the landscape more. So they're not so close up, they're not like really like architecture in their own right. Here they are more like ruins definitely, and these figures of cows in the foreground kind of root them in that pastoral landscape kind of a setting. This is just another example. These are trying to be like more, he's takes all these different pictures from all these different angles to show all the different details of construction. So you can, there's a more scientific kind of impulse behind it. Okay, and then this is an example of a photograph from Tiwanaku, which is in what is now Bolivia. I think this, I really like this photograph because of the presence, the foreground of that rock lying on the plain. It's like it really is like it's just lying there in this photograph, like waiting for someone to come find it. And I think that this is one of the most powerful examples of Bingham's whole mindset in photography, that this is just there, waiting to be found, waiting to be described and made sense of. Please. Okay, coming to the end, this is a shot, this one right here, which you can see he got really excited about and made a lot of notes around, is a shot of one of his guides, one of the indigenous, or one of the Peruvian members of his crew called Claudio, which you can see he wrote in pencil on the side, kind of about to march off into this valley. And he wrote the Argonaut, which kind of, that sense of a mythical journey. And actually, sorry, I'm gonna kind of disrupt the PowerPoint to show you this other example. Yeah, so this is the frontispiece to his book, Inca Land. So you can see it's the same image. Of course, here he doesn't mention that it's Claudio in the image. And then the quote below is from Kipling. Something hidden, go and find it. Go and look beyond the ranges. Something lost behind the ranges, lost and waiting for you. Go. So the identification with Kipling is, I think, pretty meaningful with Kipling of the white man's burden kind of fame. It kind of ties him to a project of colonialism in a way. And I think in that frontispiece, it's pretty clear that even though this figure is actually Claudio, in a way, it's actually Bam. So next.
Oh, we're still going?
Well, almost done. Almost done.
Okay, I'm sorry. Very complicated machine.
I can just.
Well, maybe, yeah, because,
Maybe I
did you
disrupted
turn it
it.
off yet? No.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I think I'm done anyway. So this is another. Oh no.
Let's see if this is one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So this is another Villalba photograph, not included in the album, from 1875. It was in another book called Peru and Bolivia: Types and Costumes. It's clearly a staged photo. I mean, because this man is like very much dressed up with those braids, with all these kind of accoutrements, and then he's against this ornate fence, or not fence, but balcony of some kind, looking into a mirror. So it's staged, and it was included in kind of this book that showed different examples of ethnographic and typological photographs of types and costumes. But I think this image of the man looking into a mirror, an indigenous man who doesn't look, who's maybe surprised with what he sees or isn't happy. I mean, I think this is the fear, or maybe not the fear, but kind of the double that's underneath Villalba's work, that, you know, maybe this is really what Peru is all about, this identification with the indigenous, and that's why the railroad is so important as a metaphor for progress, because this is the kind of the fear underlying it all. I'm done.
Thank you.